On the day, Russell will board the vehicle, he'll ask to see your driving licence and he'll fill it out the form, alright? And then he's going to ask you 5 questions from that paperwork. What I'm going to demonstrate now is question 5. I forget the exact wording, but it's essentially it's a full cab check and an exterior check, alright? So, what I train is, if you're working through the saloon in any way, use circular motions as you scan. So like literally start from the bottom, scan around, move forward, scan, move forward, and that way you're constantly looking for things. So first of all, floor, no slips, no trips, no loose trim. The doors themselves are secure. The handles are secure as well. I have legal signage in place. And see how easy it would be to forget looking up. There's nothing hanging down, there's no damage that I can see. Moving forward, I've got my fire extinguisher. It's in green. There's a first aid kit in there. There's also a first aid kit located over there. As I move up forward, I'm scanning again. I'm thinking hand poles are secure. This area is secure. I have legal signage, my height and length, speed limit, speed limiter, and my seating capacity. This fan is secure, as is this. I personally find this works for me to check my sun visor. I pull it down. Now I'm looking in the cab, making sure it's safe for me to proceed. Checking the floor for no slips, no trips, same as that floor there. A little bit more detail required here. There's nothing rolling around behind the seats, but they find their way underneath the pedals. And at the same time, looking at the pedals, they're in good condition. The rubber's not loose. There's no leaked fluids on there. Next, driver's seat. Make sure it's secure by grabbing both sections. Padding for sharps. Never run your hands across the sharps. You just pad, otherwise you snag. And then pressing it down a little bit at the back. Make sure there's nothing in behind. Trim's in good condition. It's not torn in any way. The seat itself adjusts. It's now safe for me to sit down. Okay, if everyone jumps on so you've got a better view. Pause your video. Okay, so I've sat down, the seats fine,
Yeah, no worries.
so on and so forth. Next, I need to turn the master switch on. Very important, you're used to now operating the switch. When you operate it, look at this warning lights. And the idea is it's bulb check. So master comes on, just need to shade it a little bit. All my bulbs have lit up and they've gone out where necessary. The only one that's left is the handbrake, which I want on, obviously. I'm now ready to start the engine. In a lot of my training, I do it in 3 bullet points. And the 3 bullet points for starting the engine is handbrake, neutral, black smoke. Alright? So before I fire up the engine, I'm checking it's in neutral, handbrake is applied, and then I can now start the engine. And I'm looking in both mirrors for black smoke. It's one of the common things missed on Mod 4 is remembering to look for black smoke. Whilst I'm looking in the mirrors, I'm also mentioning that they are correctly adjusted for when I go out on the road. Okay, now the engine's running, I'm going to start on this side, and I literally scan as I go, moving my way around, so you're doing it in a logical order. First thing I come to personally is the top row. It's reasonably secure. I've got my reverse horn. I can test that simply by just putting it into reverse. Press the button. It's to turn off the reverse horn of the hours at night, and then I can turn it back on. See, these are not just marked on this bus. It's just engineering switches. So all you need to say to Russ or your examiner is they're engineering switches, move on. Display screen. So there's quite a lot involved with this. First of all, you've got your brake pressure. Put your foot hard on the foot brake. It should equal the air pressure, telling you you've got full pressure to the brake system. When you get down to the air pressure, you've got tanks 1 and 2. Again, my 3 bullet points. They are, you're going to test the alarms, compressors working, and check for air leaks. And the way we do that, first of all, is dump the air. Get a morning workout on the leg. So So the alarms have come on, you can hear the alarms, and also the red lights come on. So that's alarms working. Slight pause whilst we wait for the pressure to build back up. Now looking at the screen, the pressure's building back up, telling me the compressor's working. And then I'll switch the engine off, open the window, foot firmly on the brake again, and I'm putting the system under load with no engine noise. I'm listening for air leaks both outside the vehicle and from the cab area. That's the 3 bullet points there on that one. It's quite important to remember that check. Restarting the engine, again no black smoke. Now move on to my next gauge. Engine temperature is within range. I have enough fuel for the journey. Oil pressure's good. Oil level's good. On this particular vehicle, that's a known fault. It's an amber. You might be questioned, okay, so we've had a red light and an amber light. So an amber light, can we continue driving the vehicle?
Yes.
Yes. You're going to report it, but yes, you can continue driving the vehicle if engineering say it's okay. If it's a red light,
No.
correct. Red is dead. You stop the vehicle as soon as safe as possible, phone engineering, and they'll come and recover the vehicle or sort of rectify the fault. But this particular one is a known fault. It's already been reported, same as the heater ventilator fault, and then we're back to our normal screen. So that's the top row covered. Next I'm going to move down. I've got my kneeler. I'm not actually loading passengers, so I don't need the doors closed whilst I'm doing it. I'm checking that it's working. That's a dead switch. Gearbox, we need to check the gearbox, and again, creature of habit, 3 things. You're going to check the gearbox, foot brake, hand brake. The only way to do that is to close the doors first, pop it in the drive, both mirrors checked, blind spot, and it's just literally, the vehicle moves forward slightly, that's plenty. Into reverse, ease it back into the position you started at, and that's checked my gearbox, foot brake working, and hand brake working. Doors, I've already closed them, so they're working. Next I'm moving across now. It doesn't hurt to just pause and just go, I've done everything. Yes, move on. Got my indicator stalk, as I call it. Indicate left, and you do need to just lift yourself up so I can see that they're actually flashing on the outside of the vehicle. Same on the right side. Horn, easily missed. Wipers, all we need is get the windscreen wet, is the washers working, full speed, turn it off. You've proven that the wipers are working. Job done. What else have we got on here? We've got our main beam. So where you have to break my sort of flow is turn your headlights on over here, and at the same time pull it out 2 clicks. Get your fog light on. There's a light that illuminates there, and now I can get my main beam on. When you're putting any lights on for the exterior, leave them on, because when you go outside you're going to be checking that all the bulbs are working. Steering wheel, just giving it a little turn, it would be stiff otherwise. That's proving that the power steering is working and the steering wheel's in good condition. Speedo, I would check the speedo as I'm exiting the depot. If it's faulty as I'm driving around the depot, as in not working, then I can't leave the depot. If it goes faulty out on the road, then I have 24 hours to get it fixed, and I can continue driving. You're a professional driver, you should be able to gauge your speed accordingly. We've already talked about warning lights, we've covered that screen, so next is the ferry lift. That's working, and it's going back to ride height. Hazards, I'm going to turn them on now, and I'm going to make sure all the bulbs are working when I go outside the vehicle. It's worth noting that if any of these, for the indicator or hazards, if that was flashing faster, that would also indicate a bulb out. Moving across, we've got this retrofitted switch. That's the buzzer. I'm just confirming that that's working, and I'll turn it off for now, otherwise it's going to really annoy us. Cab light, turn that on, that's working. Saloon lights, it's a rocker switch, it's got 2 positions. first position down, looking at the interior lights, most of the bus is lit except the front, and then I flip it to the other option and all the lights should be on. It must be at least 50% bulbs lit to be out on the road. So you could have an entire side turned off and it'd be absolutely fine. Or a few bulbs out is fine. As long as it's 50% lighting, you're good to go. I've covered everything on that section now, so moving down. I've already used the master and the starter, so just not worth mentioning. Steering adjustment. Check that works because all drivers are different sizes. So make sure that's operational. We got a tap reset. Purpose of this, Lewis, if you wouldn't mind operating that emergency tap at the top, and then grab one of the doors.
One of them?
Yeah, or both of them. Yeah, good. And then if you look at the emergency tap, I press this button and it's reset the tap. So that's proving that that system is working. Next we have the roof vent. Press it forward, the light comes on, momentary pause. You can just hear the servos and all that working.
What is that, sorry?
It's the roof vent.
Ah, the vent.
And you can actually look through the slots cut out in the upper panel.
Oh,
yeah.
Daylight.
Okay.
And then I press it and momentary pause, it'll close back up again. Cab window, operational. This switch here is for saloon fans, for want of a better word, or ventilation. All you can do is press the switch forward, the light comes on, assume it works because you can't hear it, and then put it back into auto. Same with this switch, wiggly lines. Look in this glass closely, there's wiggly lines, that's my technical term. This is a heated screen, and all you can do is turn it on, the light comes on, so assume that it's working, and then turn it off again.
Does that do the other side as well?
No, this is the only heated glass on the bus. Cab fans, both operational. Emergency switch to shut the engine down in emergency. You open it, pull up the yellow button, and that's isolated the vehicle. And even if the hazards weren't on, automatically it would put it on. So in an emergency situation, that's what you're reaching for. Press it down, close it down, and restart the engine. Moving across, we got, it's labelled cab heaters. The real technical term is it's actually your demisters. That's its primary function. So all we need from that is turn it all the way around and it'll start making a lot of noise. You can hear it coming online now. Run your hands along the front as well to confirm that there is airflow to the windscreen. Return that back to the position it was. The heat control, it moves, and this is your fan speed that you can adjust accordingly. Just confirm that one's working as well, which it is. This vehicle, these buttons aren't actually operational, but that is where you would find your passenger heating. So just mention this is my passenger heating controls, and move on. We've swept all the way down. Now we're looking to move up, and we'll come to this sun visor that's meant to stay down, but again, it's a known defect. Is it something that's critical for actually driving the bus out on the road? No, not really. It's just a known defect. Above my head, things are secure. Secure. There's no tackle on this bus. That's secure. I've got my destination blind, and it's operational because it's saying driver training on the screen. Secure. CCTV's working and it's secure. As you can imagine, you want to make sure everything's secure, because out on the road, things falling on your head is not going to be ideal. I operate the sun visor and make sure that it goes back up, and then I can check the view through all my glass. My windscreen, my side windows is unobstructed by any stickers or mascots or anything else such as that. This is when you're generally going to sit here and think, right, okay, I feel like I've covered everything. Just have a quick glance and go,